Hello there. So just recently I was chatting to somebody who was a returner who was thinking about coming back on retreat. But she wanted to have a little chat just before she made her next booking. And when we were chatting about, some of the weight that she had regained since she had been on retreat, it was about a year and a bit ago, and what was kind of going on and how had that happened. And one of the things that she said really struck me was that she just wished that she had the willpower to keep to the changes. And we talked about it on the phone, talked a little bit about things that had come up in life and what have you. And it really struck me that this idea of willpower is what was kind of keeping her stuck. And it's the same for, I think a number of people. It's something that, I do talk about on retreat, is this idea that we don't need willpower when we're going to do things that we want to do. So we want to build this sense of positive desire to make these changes. But we can't imagine that it's just like flicking a switch where, one day you want coffee and cake for your snack and the next day automatically, you never want that. You always want hummus and crudités. It isn't like that. It's much more about thinking, I want to nourish my body and my brain. I want to shed the weight that's unnecessary for me. And so while I will want coffee and cake in the afternoons, I know that if I get into the habit of having the hummus and crudités, that in the long run, that's a pattern, that's a habit that is going to form, and I will get what I want, which is to shed the weight that's unnecessary for me and on occasion enjoy some coffee and cake on occasion. And so this idea of really helping people to understand the power of habits, how really identifying those patterns of behaviors and thoughts that are keeping you stuck, perhaps in that diet mentality, clinging on to the notion that if only you had the willpower, this would be easier. If only you had the willpower, you'd be able to make better choices. So on our next returners retreat, which is the advanced weight loss retreat, I'm really going to be doing much more of a deep dive into habits. How do you let go of a pattern that no longer serves you? And how do you start to layer up a habit that you really want to make stick for yourself? Habits are really where it is at. Willpower is, honestly, I don't think willpower actually exists. The people who, would claim that they have great willpower, they actually want different things. The person who doesn't feel the pull for that coffee and cake in the afternoon has probably nourished themselves well through the day, has probably remained hydrated and was never emotionally connected to that mid-afternoon snack. They want different things. That is their habit. It's easy for them to make that choice. If that hasn't been your habit, it is harder for you to make that choice. Nothing to do with willpower, everything to do with habit.